Hey everybody, I'm Todd and this is Sweet Tea Guitars. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel and welcome to a guitar giveaway. Alright you guys, when we left off the other day, this is where we were. So I've done nothing to this guitar. It's been hanging here for 3 days. I've been letting this cure up really nice and hard. This thing has turned out so awesome. I love the color. I love the perfectly imperfect job I've done on this copper foil. It just looks really cool and unique. You can't really tell it now. I'll take it out in the sun and get some really nice pictures of this later. It's red pearl and it's got a really nice high shine gold pearlescent glow to this under this red. Anyway, before we get started on this video and get back to work on this guitar, I wanted to show you guys something I just got. And I've seen Ben talk about these things before. I've seen some other guys talking about them as well. The HP8 thicknessing block plane. This is it right here. So if I wanted to say plain 6 pieces of binding down to exactly the same thickness, I could set these 2 risers on the side to that thickness, just run this plane across them. All 6 pieces would be the same distance, or the same thickness, I mean. Also, in this format, this is just a super high quality block plane, which I absolutely love. I already know Bridge City makes some of the best quality hand planes you can buy. They're super expensive normally, but I wanted to own at least one. And while those were affordable at 79 bucks, I had to have one. So I bought one. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the sanding on this body. We're going to start with 1200 grit. I think I said the other night that we would probably start at around 1500. But I do have some orange peel. No water. I'm not going to wet sand this. We're going to use super acrylics up to 1500 grit. I just want to get a feel for how this sanding's going to go. There's not that much orange peel and it's sanding right away with this 1200 grit. You want to keep your sandpaper nice and clean. If you keep trying to sand with buildup on it, you'll leave streaks in your finish. And that'll just cause you more work to have to do. We don't want to have to mess with that. You don't want to bear down too hard, especially when you're around an edge, because you'll sand through this stuff before you even know it. It'll happen and you'll be so mad and there won't be anything you can do about it. You guys have been so kind to me when it comes to the comments you've made about this guitar. I am so appreciative for it too. All the comments you guys make on my channel. I just can't tell you how much that makes me want to come back down here and do this every single day of my life. You guys fuel my passion. I love that. Now I've got little dimples in the back of my neck here, so I'll know where my threaded metal inserts go. We're going to use this slightly used piece of 1200 to start off. Again, we don't have to go all the way with this 1200 because we still got the 1500 we want to use too. I'm just going to keep working on this thing, you guys. If the camera runs out, I may not even realize it. All right, I think we're as far as I feel comfortable going with the 1200. Let's move up to the 1500 grit, and we just want to get rid of these 1200 grit scratches, and at the same time get rid of any of that orange peel that we have left. I'm going to continue sanding on this thing. We'll pick back up when I get ready to actually start buffing this thing. And I'll show you guys how I get this thing to be a high gloss finish. So there we go. Got a nice mirror finish. That pearl's looking mighty fine. Let's move over to the front. We're getting a nice sheen already. I just see the scratches in there, so we got to get rid of that. All right, you guys, I got the buffing wheel loaded up with some Manzurna 495P, which is a number 4 finish compound. I got a brand new buffing wheel on here. But there we go, you guys. Polished, shining and gleaming and looking all delicious. I am so happy with this, you guys. Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today is Saturday, May the 13th. We'll shift our focus back to the neck, get this finished. I've got the heel left I need to carve. And then we're going to sand this thing, get some finish put on it. So let's crack on with this. So I've got some tools laid out, as you guys can see. Various files, Iwasaki's. I've got my Grobe, my Karates. This is a hand-stitched rasp I got on Lee Valley Tools. This is a vintage Martin, 3/4 inch wide, number 6 sweep carving gouge. I got this on eBay. And then I've got a hand-turned carving mallet that my buddy Preston Golightly made for me. We're just going to get on this, and I just want to get some of this excess wood carved away before we start using files and rasp and stuff on it. I've got a line drawn that follows the contour of my body. I've got this neck clamped down to the table with a caul on top of it so I don't scar my neck all up. We'll get the majority of that material removed with this rasp, and then we'll move over to some finer cutting tools. So there's where we are right now. I'm just working in this shape right here. We're going to take a straight edge, lay it across our neck, and see how high we are off the surface of the body. Here's our base plate. I've got one of the saddles. We'll place it in the center. Oh, we're perfect, you guys. Right at the top of the saddle. So we've got the string slot in the saddle. That's how much distance of play we have. I'm completely happy about that. So that's good. .180 is really the perfect grit for this on wood in general. It's coarse enough to get some work done, but it's fine enough to leave a nice finish. I've been working on this neck for a couple of hours. Everything's sanded up to 360 grit. I got the headstock pretty much finalized when it comes to sanding. We got a couple of things we need to do to this neck real quick before I throw a true final sanding on this thing and we get some finish wiped on it. So we're going to jump over to the drill press. I've already got a 7mm drill bit in the drill press. That's the size I've determined I need to hold these alloy steel threaded metal inserts These are 1024 threaded metal inserts. I'll be using an Allen head bolt with a billet aluminum washer. These are stainless steel. Those are what I'm using to attach the neck to the body. Before we do this, what I'd like to do is pop this neck back in the body one more time, drop a center punch pin down through the holes that I've got in my body. Double check everything before we go drilling this. So let's grab our body one more time. This thing, I'll bet this thing doesn't weigh 4 pounds. It is super light, and I am so happy about that. It looks phenomenal. I mean, this thing just glistens. My neck heel's wound up just like I wanted it. That's pretty much perfect, and that is a super comfortable transition. This will help clean those holes out too, so the bolts slide down in there more freely. We're going to go back over this thing with my buffer before we start assembly. Yeah, we were in the right spot, so we're good. There's my little dimples. While we're over here and while I got these holes drilled, I'm going to take a countersink and I'm just going to chamfer the edge of these holes ever so slightly. I want these threaded metal inserts that I'm putting in here to be slightly below the surface so I get wood on wood contact. So there we go. That's perfect. The bushing that goes in the front of these Geiger tuners, outer diameter of the bushing's 8 millimeters, slightly under 8 millimeters. I've already checked, they'll fit through these holes. The sleeve on the tuner itself that the bushing actually screws down into, outside diameter of that is 10 millimeters. I'm going to take this step drill bit now, run it down in here, and we'll take the back of our headstock tuner holes up to 10 millimeters. All right, I'll show you guys what I was talking about. So now we've got a 10 millimeter hole on the back. I don't fret the neck until I'm almost ready to mount it to the body. Geo gets on to me about that too, but that's the way I have started to do it. It gives me all the way up until that last little minute to fix any issues with the fretboard. If I drag my fingernail across it, I can fix the fretboard without a problem. There's our neck, you guys. What a beautiful piece of maple. There's some flame in there. It's beautiful. It's quarter sawn. We're going to polish this fretboard up to 5,000 grit. I'm already at 360 on it. Probably 600 next. 800, 1,000 grit, 1,500, 2,000. Then we'll switch over to Trizac foam. I've got some 5,000 right here. 800. This is super acrylic sandpaper. We're going to 1,000. We'll go to 12 or 1,500, sorry. Now when you hit 1,500, you're polishing. This is 5,000 grit fabric. Got a nice reflection in there. Our fret markers look really nice. We'll wipe the whole neck down with naphtha, and then I'm going to try something new for a finish on this thing. I'll show you guys what it is. I'm all the time trying new products so I can share that information with you guys. I've got my favorites, but I like to try new stuff so I know that I'm passing knowledge along. This is the way. The fretboard will be getting Osmo extra thin wood wax, 2 coats of that, and that should be fine. On the neck itself, I'm going to use this. This is called Pro Coat Unicoat Hard Wax Uroil. This is an oil modified urethane hard wax oil. This stuff is super durable. I've tried this on a piece of maple already. That's 1 coat. You can see where the difference is. It left it really nice, a really great sheen. It did not discolor it too bad. We're going to wipe a coat of this down now. Before we wipe the second coat on it tomorrow, we'll install the threaded metal inserts. And I also want to get the logo lasered in the headstock before we move to the second coat. This is just going to provide us with some protection. This is maple, so it needs a hard finish on it. Let's pop open this can of extra thin wood wax. And I like Osmo, as most of you guys know already. Just highlights everything. It's beautiful. When we come back, we'll buff this down. We'll hang the neck up, let it dry overnight. We'll call it a night. I'll go edit some video. I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, you guys, I went ahead and buffed the Osmo off of the fretboard. There's what we're looking like. This thing is beautiful. I am so happy with how this is looking so far. This Unicoat hard wax Uroil is what this stuff's called. It did a great job at highlighting that light flame that we've got going on in this maple for this neck. I'm really happy with this. I've decided to leave this neck natural. I like the contrast it gives me between the red pearl on the back, and once I get the black tuners put on here, I think that's going to give us a nice contrast on the front as well. Let me pop this thing down in the neck pocket, and we'll take a look at this thing before we wrap things up here. All right, you guys, one last look at the kyper-alpha. There we go. She's all buffed up and shiny. Everything's looking really good. I'm so happy with this. I think this thing is going to look awesome with black hardware on it. The back has probably got fingerprints all over it, but there's the back with that glowing red pearl on it. It is so nice, you guys. I cannot wait to give this thing away. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, you guys. It's the only requirement to be in the drawing to win this guitar. Next weekend, we're going to start the assembly on this thing. I'll get the frets put in the neck. I can't guarantee we'll completely finish it by next weekend, but we should be close. Once I do get this guitar up to the point that it can have strings put on it, I'm going to hang it up at the house, let it hang for 2 weeks. We'll film the final sound demo and the giveaway part of this series at that time. I'll keep you guys posted as to what's going on. You guys be on the lookout for the introduction video for my entry into the Great Guitar Build-Off this year. I'm entering the scratch build competition by myself. I'm also doing a collaboration with Gio from Tornella Guitars as a part of the community build. So we got big plans this year, you guys. I can't wait to get started. Again, you guys be on the lookout for that video coming soon. Anyway, I'll see you guys next weekend in the next video for the kyper-alpha. And until then, as always, peace and love.